Hello and welcome, everybody. We're just going to give everyone a couple of minutes to join us. Thank you so much for taking the time. I'm Kayla, this is Liz. We'll get into introductions shortly, but we're just going to give everybody a minute to jump in. We hope you've had an exciting week so far. I'm very new to the quality management sector personally, but Liz has been here for absolute years, not just in quality, but also with Logic. So I'm sure that you've recognized or you've spoken to one of us at some point so far, which is very exciting. We're excited to have you all here. Um, all right, I think we might just get into it, Liz. What do you think?
Sure.
Excellent. Okay. Well, welcome every attendee. This is the first webinar of 2024 from Logic, which is very exciting for us. This will be focused on our self-serve in-app ordering. So before I get started, I really do want to start by beginning with a bit of an acknowledgement. So we would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we meet today. I would also like to pay my respects to elders past and present. Okay, so I would like to introduce us a little bit further. So for those who are not aware of who we are, I am Kayla. As I said, I'm the head of customer experience here at Logic. My role here is to make sure that we are continuously proving our journey for you here at Logic. So that it will include things like webinars, that will include things like emails that are coming to you that help guide you through how to make the vision that you have for Logic actually real and realize that. And that is where Liz pops in. So Liz is our season guide to unlocking the full potential of Logic. She is somebody that you will work with on a more detailed level to ensure that you are meeting those vision expectations that you have for the system. And helping us do that is this webinar series. So I just want to introduce the Your Success is Our Success campaign, because you will and can expect emails about this particular campaign, all about different topics, but the entire intention about the campaign in total is that it focuses on the common challenges faced by you in managing the Logic platform. And it is designed specifically for the people that are receiving our emails, because you guys are the ones that are responsible for overseeing the continuous adjustments to the platform to ensure that it aligns with the ever-changing needs of your organizations. So we encourage you to join us on these exciting webinars. We will be recording them, which is something that we need to be very aware of. So if you do decide to register, but for whatever reason you can't attend, it's okay. We will be recording them. We highly recommend attending, because look at the energy we have, and why not improve your day? But of course, if you can't, we will make sure that you're enabled afterwards. And if you do have any questions, we do have a panel in the webinar chat that you can pop those through on. If you can't find it, or you're struggling with that and still have questions afterwards, at the end of today's webinar, we will take you through how else to get in touch with our team. So please don't stress, we've got you on all angles, all right? So in today's webinar, we are going to be focusing on our self-serve in-app ordering. The intention of this is to give you back control so that you can enable your subscription with the items that you need or the licenses that you need in the moment. Really, really powerful stuff for you guys working on the ground always. It's important that you have that control so that you can get the outcomes that you need quickly. It is our fastest way to done. We're going to give you immediate access to information. So if you're looking at expanding your subscription and you're looking at a particular feature and you're really keen on that feature, but you want more information, Liz is going to show you today how you can do that directly within Logic. Instant delivery. Oh, we have worked so hard towards this, where you can reconfigure some of your licenses in the moment. When you've got a new staff member coming on, you've gone, oh no, I've forgotten to ask for a quote. Now I've got to get that quote approved, and now I've got to get over to the person to approve it. Forget all of that. You can now do it within the in-app feature that we've provided and move on with your life very quickly. And of course, just maximizing the value of your subscription in total. So where you're again finding that Logic might not be serving certain parts of the business that you really want to see within Logic, we are giving you that capability so that you can have a look at the full scope of Logic right within your Logic platform without having to scroll through many pages of our website and try to navigate through the incredible value that we can provide through the platform. So with that, I'm going to hand over to our incredible Elizabeth to take us through a demonstration of these features.
Okay, welcome everyone. Like Kayla said, let's have a look at how in-app purchasing works. So let's start at the very beginning. In-app purchasing is a very specific permission, and you will need to, it's a super admin permission, let's call it that. So a member of your super admin team or anyone with that super admin permission will need to provide you with the edit subscription page permission. How do you find out whether you have that permission? Look in your account. Easiest way to see it is by opening your user account, scrolling down to permissions and checking that you have that edit subscription page permission. If you don't have the edit subscription page permission, the easiest way to find out who is able to provide you with that permission is to click on your company account. In the company account, you'll be able to see who the people in your organization is that can provide you with that permission. The company account will also show you all of the details of what your current subscription is like. So you can see here we have the component around our licenses, and we can see exactly how many we have activated and assigned at any time. And that will be what's driving you to continue adding or taking away from that subscription is the requirement, is your business requirement. You'll also be able to see which registers you have and which you want to be able to turn on and off. Dashboards, our add-ons, and then of course all of the evidence reports that we support through the accreditation register. If we want to add to the subscription, we need to be in admin mode. So again, for all of our users, click on your name and come to admin mode. Once in admin mode, we again can see all of our company details with all of our security requirements. And as always, Logic needs you to keep this updated so we know who to reach out to at any given time for specific requirements. The subscription page is on the left-hand navigator pane, right under your account details. And when you click on that, it'll bring you to the in-app subscription. As you can see, it's very much set out the same way as your company account, with each individual component able to expand. And the second part of the form is where you'll find your order history. So once you start placing those orders, you'll always be able to track the details here, and you'll be able to look at that quote or purchase order. Each component expands to show you all of the availability that it has. And you can see here, if we look at the licenses, that this component describes the functionality of what we're about to add or to review in our subscription quite clearly. It'll tell you exactly what the license can do in this instance. And if you wanted to look for further detail, you can click on the Learn More. Now, the Learn More will either take you, like in this instance, to the knowledge base and tell you more about the licenses, or when you're considering and looking at some of our additional features or additional registers, the Learn More will take you to a more detailed page on our website, giving you further information about what it is that you're looking at to essentially purchase. As you can see, the registers that you have currently in your subscription are highlighted in green, and those that you don't have are highlighted in red, and gives you the option to select to order if you wanted to add that to your register. So let's say in this instance, Angela wants to add that asset and maintenance register to the fold, but she also needs to make some changes to her user licenses. She needs to add a couple of action licenses because we've got new staff to join, or we're upgrading people from their read and report, so we might want to take some of those away. Let's take some of these approval licenses away. We don't need that many. So you can see here, you can control your subscription. You can minus and plus effectively. Then we can continue to scroll through and look at all the other products and services that Logic has available. We've added that asset register. We can look at some of the add-on features that are available. And again, each one is specifically described, and all of the other features that Logiqc has on offer. Once you've added to your subscription the things that you want, click on the next tab to take you to the order, to the purchase order side of things. When we look at the next page, you'll clearly see what the value is that you're going to be adding to your platform, and we'll remind you to have a look at the terms and conditions. The description remains in place, as well as the number of licenses that you've ordered, the recommended retail price, and your price specifically. This might vary from customer to customer, depending on whether you have a discount with us or a range of particular licenses. If you have a huge amount of licenses, you may be receiving a discount. But you can very clearly see here how your subscription will change. The 25 that we add, the 27 that's taken away, and then the addition of the asset and maintenance register. When you scroll to the bottom part of the form, this is where you'll see any additional information that can come in here. Now, you may have subscription permissions in Logiqc, but you may not have purchasing permission in your organisation. So this allows you to add additional details and get this signed off by the person with purchasing permission in your organisation. You can add a purchase order number, and you can add some comments. Then you can print this quote. If you click on the print quote button, you can see here the date that the quote was generated, who the submitter is, the purchase order details that we've just added, the comments that we want the purchaser to be aware of, as well as Logiqc's terms and conditions, and then, of course, a full view of the features that you are adding to your platform. Now, the quote won't save. So if you do need to download and print it to have it signed off, you will need to re-add that content to Logiqc. If you do have purchasing permissions, simply click on the terms and conditions and place your order. You'll get a reminder and making sure that you know that this is exactly what you want to purchase. And if you're happy with that, proceed to placing your order. The next message here will give you an order ID, and it'll give you some further information. You'll receive an email that tell you with additional resources for the registers and things that you've purchased. All of your licenses are instantly activated, and you can go and check that on your company account. For any of for the asset and maintenance register that we've purchased in this instance, Logiqc still has to upload the menu option content for you. So as soon as we've done that, you'll receive notification that that register was activated as well. And that's how we purchase. And then, of course, like we said, our order history will give us all of the information of any purchases that we've made in the past. And once the order is finalised, asset and maintenance register is activated, that will change to completed. And of course, you have access to that purchase order as well. I'll hand back to Kayla now.
Excellent. Thanks, Liz. So Liz, I might just get you to reshare your screen for me.
Yeah.
I do have a couple of questions that I'm hoping that we could copy on or just cover off while we're on the screen. Just another prompt for everybody listening at the moment. Thank you very much again for joining us. You will have a Q&A. Oh, hi, Liz. You will have a Q&A panel in your taskbar or in your navigation bar of Teams. If you would like to submit a question, please do. So Liz, if I do want to I do want to enable one of my team members to create a quote but not to officially purchase, how do I do that?
So you still can give them the purchasing permission, but instead of where we were able to, not quite sure what happened to our screen here. Let me go back.
Always during a demo.
When they are adding to the subscription, they will be required to print that quote and come back, resubmit and then place the order. So Logic will allow them to do the logic part of it, but the organisation will have a policy in place that stipulates the quote needs to be signed off, and that can then form part of that process.
Excellent. Okay, and where if I am the person in the organization that should be able to place an order on behalf of my organization, how do I check that I've got that permission, or how do I get that permission enabled?
Okay, so that's a really good question. On your company account, even in admin mode, you'll be able to see who has the ability to edit the account and super user permissions. As I said earlier, this is a super user permission. So if you do not have the permission activated in your account, you need to speak to one of these three people or whoever that is in your organization, and they can add it. So they can add it by individual user, selecting the user, scrolling down to permissions, and granting that edit subscription page permission to that user. And clicking save will enable that permission.
Fantastic, fantastic. And in terms of deactivations, it's right that I can deactivate licenses and reactivate licenses, but what about the registers?
Okay, so you can absolutely change your subscription so that it fits within your organizational requirement at the time, but Logic has placed a pause on you deactivating a register. And the reason why we did that is because your register has content. And we want to give you an opportunity to export that content or make decisions about that prior to deactivating that register. So for now, you will still need to reach out to us via support to advise us that you want to switch off a register. And of course, we'll get that done for you as soon as possible.
Excellent. Well, everybody on the call today is quiet. There are no Q&As. I'm hoping that there's no problem with the Q&A panel and that we've covered as much content as we can in here, and there are no questions. But again, if you do have questions, it's never too late. Please pop it into that Q&A panel or whatever chat panel you can access on your side. Liz, what I might do, I might just share my screen now.
Sure.
Excellent. All right. So we'll move on from the Q&As. And what I'd like to just call out on this call is that there is more than one way to order through Logic. Of course, in-app purchasing is absolutely the fastest way and the most accurate way to done. With every organization that comes through in-app ordering, what you're actually doing is seeing your specific subscription with us. You're seeing the RRP for those licenses that potentially you may be already getting a discount on. As Liz said, it will be custom depending on the number of licenses that you've got. So please make sure that anything that you need, you remember to pop that through in-app ordering. What that allows us to do on our end is make sure that we can come back to you with some more value. So like Elizabeth has shown you today, we do go, and what you would have experienced with Logic to date is that we go beyond the platform. We help our customers and we consult with our customers on best practice solutions or acknowledged practice solutions within the platform. And because of that, we don't display absolutely every service that you can engage with at Logic. The reason for that is just to keep your in-app experience really streamlined and specific to the product. However, when you come through, we will be looking at what you've purchased and ensuring that you are provided options on that purchase to enable you to either roll the feature out or learn more about the feature or the item that you've purchased through in-app. Now, if you've got any questions, any subscription inquiries around in-app purchasing or other additional services, or even just want to discuss your vision for Logic and how we can help you realize that, we have an email address called customersuccess@logic.com.au. You could shoot an email through to that website, to that email address. Liz and I monitor that, but just don't worry if you've got a different email address or you decide in the moment, oh, support, I'm just going to go straight through to support. It's okay. We work very closely together. We have systems and operations in place that it does go to the right person so that you're not left either unanswered or you're not getting the correct information. We've got you, is what I'm trying to say here. So if again you do want to have a look at some of the additional services that help you achieve that vision for Logic that you have, please know that we can help beyond that platform. Your next steps. So we wanted to make it really clear to everybody on the call who is watching that you guys review the edit subscription permission within your platform. It's vital that somebody within the organization with the appropriate permission has it, and that anybody who potentially may have had it and has left, or may have had it and has moved into a different department in your organization, it's important that that is reviewed and updated. So we're going to give you a prompt now to do that. In our post-webinar email, you'll get a recording, but we'll also send another email out early next week that gives you these next steps with some directions in the event that you didn't want to sit back through the webinar and have a look. And of course, one of your next steps, give in-app ordering a go on your next purchase. If this is something as simple as increasing or decreasing licenses, or you just want us to step you through how to do that, we can also do that. But give it a go, see how comfortable you are with it, and experience the power that it has in giving you back the control that you deserve. And thirdly, to make this a little bit more interactive, we're going to launch a poll. Now, we are working on these polls in our future webinars to make these a little bit more fun, but right now we're just going to ask how useful you found this webinar. So I'm going to launch that poll now, and hopefully it is live and it pings you and it comes up. Please complete this. So the very first one is not helpful, and it scales all the way through to very helpful. So not helpful being you learned absolutely nothing, and very or extremely helpful being that you tell your mums about us. All right, so any feedback would be phenomenal. Thank you so much to everyone. I can see those coming through now, which is fantastic. We are highly receptive to feedback. So if you do have feedback, please shoot us through an email, and I will prompt that on the next email that we send through early next week, just to see if there's anything that we missed in this webinar that we do need to get in contact with you on. So finally, before we finish off for the day, I just want to remind everybody that we are really here to help. So any product or service that you're uncertain about, please get in touch with us through customersuccess@logic.com.au. And any questions that you have about the existing features or functionality that you have within your subscription, we also have our support line. All right, Liz, and I think with that, we have no additional Q&As. So it's just going to be a big and massive thank you to everybody who has attended. There's quite a few of you on here now. And I don't know about you, Liz, but my hands are definitely not sweaty. But thank you very much to everybody who's attended. We hope to see you on the next Customer Your Success is Our Success campaign webinar that we do, and you will receive emails about that moving forward. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, everybody.
See ya.